assuming pleased with the way that the plan was executed?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for us was competing with them on the glass. That's a top 25 offensive rebounding team, and we held them to 0 in the first half. And I told the guys in the locker room, it's the power of finishing a half the right way and getting the momentum. I give Oregon a lot of credit for the way they came out, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, 28-28 with about 3 minutes to go, and then we end up with a double-digit lead going into halftime. And then I was really proud of how the guys responded coming out and throwing the first punch, and then really keeping our foot on the gas for the entire 20 minutes in the second. And, listen, the travel that Oregon has had this last week is crazy, to play West or on the East Coast and then fly back for one game and then come back to the, I give these guys a lot of credit for the way that they came out of the gate. And, Dana's one of the best to ever do it. And, they're gonna figure it out and hopefully be home and get some rest. But, I'm proud of our guys. They really did. We talked about that before the game. If we win the glass, we're gonna have a really good chance to win the game, and that's what happened.
How much did the defensive activity you think kind of make up for the size you were giving up against?
Yeah, they started big, and a lot of times Sam got switched off onto a 6'10" guy, but I really thought he battled down there and was all over the place. I think had 5 steals at halftime. And, you look at our numbers. I love the 20 assists, 6 turnovers, the 11 steals, scoring 24 points off of turnovers. I just thought we did a lot of really good things out there tonight. And the thing I'm most proud of is, at times we've gotten a lead and then allowed a team to come back. We just kept extending it. I told Frager in the first half, I said, shoot the damn ball. He had a couple, I thought, wide open that he just drove into a crowd and drove into a pile. And it was good to see him get it going. Price, obviously, it's fun to watch him. We've got different actions based on where he is on the floor at all different spots, and our guys did a really good job finding him. They screened well, and then it was good to see Braden, get it going again as well to extend that lead up into the 30s.
After the under 4, but they finished the first half under 14-2 run when it's tighter.
Yeah, I think more than that, Mike, it was just we found the right guy, and it was Price. He got us going. Rink, obviously in foul trouble, our all-league player. And, for us to be there and extend it the way we did, I think is a testament for the depth of this team and the unselfishness, the character to be able to go out there and continue to compete without the guy that we run our entire system through. I thought Jamarcus's pace was outstanding. I was really pleased with our transition game today. I thought we got the ball up the floor. Even after a couple of Oregon makes, Jamarcus hits Price, throwing it up the floor for a 3, and then he gets the answer back, coast-to-coast layup. Those are huge. And, we were struggling to score there for a little bit, but that really what got us going again was Jamarcus's pace.
What do you feel is just most impressive with this team's ability to, I guess, win against different styles of opponents? And obviously, I've talked about the size of Oregon and to win that.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, Justin, is, for this particular game, we had to rebound. We had to bring our hard hat. We had to bring our lunch pail. We had to go out and compete with this team on the glass. That's what they do, and that's the reason that I'm sure Dana started that lineup was to beat us up a little bit out there. But I thought our guys responded. I thought, we talked about making first contact on the blockouts. You have to find a way to neutralize the length and athleticism. If you don't, it's going to be a long night. And the other thing about it, if you take care of it early, that they don't go as hard a lot of times. If they get a little rhythm going to the offensive glass, now they're off and running. So, for our guys to do a good job early in that game of establishing the boards, I thought was as key as anything tonight.
It's been 10 days or so since you've been here, and to have the students back tonight, what's just the feeling of playing in this gym with this environment now and being a top 10 team and the thought that you get to do that several more times over the next
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we're pretty much sold out the rest of the year. I think there might be a few tickets left for 1 or 2 of the games, but our guys deserve it, and we appreciate the support more than I think anybody realizes. You hear it early in the introductions, the Husker Power chant, and it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference for us. If we're going through a lull, we need them to help pick us up at times. And, my message was the same to our guys. Are you satisfied? Not one person in there said they are. So now we go back in the road, and we're all we got. And then, get another opportunity to be back in here next Wednesday. But, it's been incredible. Our fans, have been a huge factor in the start that we've had so far this year.
Braden's
Go ahead.
coach, the Oregon head coach said you guys took their butt. The Wisconsin head coach said the same thing. How much credit are you giving to your scout where you're able to put these teams that are very high-powered out of sync, where you're able to really pound on them throughout the game?
Yeah, I thought we kept after it, and we weren't in a great rhythm, kind of the middle portion of that first half, and we got off to a good start. We were trading baskets a little bit early, then we got a little sluggish, and then we finished off the half in a great way. And like I said, the thing that I'm most proud and happy with this game is how our guys just really kept their foot on the gas. We haven't been great in that area. Maybe it's why we are where we are with the net, because we didn't pound teams the way we were supposed to, which I still don't love, but it is what it is. And today, I thought for the first time we just continued to push and keep our pace and find the right guys and finished it. It was, that last 20 minutes was a lot of fun, and everybody contributed. It's great to get those other guys some minutes out there. They deserve it. They work as hard as anybody.
Braden's confidence has never been an issue, but over the last 60 or 3 halves or so, it seems like he's playing some of his best basketball and just kind of taking a step with that confidence. Have you seen maybe a bit of an evolution over the last couple with him just becoming a more confident type player and doing it the right way?
Yeah, I've talked to him the last couple of days. He was fighting his shot a little bit, and when he's in practice, the rhythm that he shoots it with, he's been just a little hesitant. And that's what I was talking about in those couple shots in the first half that he had, and he turned them down. And then second half, it was just great to see him rise up. I need him to be a great catch and shoot player, and he was that today. And then when he had to close out to attack, he did it, and he went in there and finished with authority. So you've seen, I think, a little bit of both of that, but that's the versatility of Braden's game, and I'm really happy for him.
How much of a conscious effort was it to get out in transition and push the pace tonight?
We always talk about playing with pace, but playing with smart pace, and I thought we did that tonight. Jamarcus, we didn't force it. Played in a crowd a little bit in the first half, but overall I thought our pace was smart and it was really good. I got to go, guys. Thanks.